Hey, what's up guys? John here. The most expensive home in America is now stepping into foreclosure, listed at $350 million. It's all thanks to Gavin Newsom, Eric Garcetti, and the politicians in California that are really sending California into the toilet. You know, I came to California initially in 2005, got into business in 2008 here, and I chose California because there was so much opportunity. You could fall over it in the middle of the street. And the weather was amazing. Real estate was always appreciating. And it was where everyone comes to realize their dreams. Now, people can't leave fast enough. And it's only going to continue to spiral out of control as we see 2021 unfold and these politicians try to figure out how to save the day after having destroyed their state. So please smash that like button. It does so much for this video. It exposes what they're doing. But most importantly, it's really going to bring truth to the people that aren't getting it from the mainstream media. So please smash that like button. Let's begin. Now, the media tells us that real estate developers are bad, greedy people. Now, in this video, I'm going to play devil's advocate because this is a very exceptional situation here. When you have a developer like Nile Niami, who is the biggest developer, the largest mansion builder in America, building homes for $50, $80, $100 million as if it's, you know, a $300,000 home for a typical builder. Like, he's building the big mega mansions, doing deals with the people like Floyd Mayweather bought $26 million mansion right behind the Beverly Hills Hotel from him a few years ago. That's just a drop in the bucket for this man. But now, with this $350 million property going into foreclosure, this is going to change the dynamic of real estate as well as the confidence level for other investors. Over the past 5 years, real estate developers have been doing extremely well, building out luxury properties throughout the entire city, especially in West Side LA, Santa Monica, Bel Air, Brentwood, Beverly Hills, you know, the prime areas. They'd buy these properties, they'd scrap them and build out new properties at a really great return for investors, and it's a really good opportunity for a buyer to come in and buy a property and a product that they would like to live in without the headache and hassle of trying to remodel it and renovate it themselves. Now, Nile Niami saw this as a great opportunity to begin building out these huge properties. Now, this property is called The One. He initially wanted to list it for $500 million, then got reduced to $350 million. But what's very interesting is, and a very valuable lesson for all of us in real estate and in business, is you don't know sometimes what the other side will look like in terms of the economic cycle, the demand on the other end, but most importantly, now is what we have to all take into consideration, the politics and the expectations on us as businessmen and businesswomen by the time that we actually finish the project. So this property here is a whopping 42 bathrooms, 21 bedrooms, 5,500 square feet master, 30-car garage, a moat, a 400-foot jogging track, 360-degree views of downtown LA, a 4-lane bowling alley, philanthropy wing. It had everything that you could ever need. And why people would buy a property like this? A couple reasons. One, they may want a crash pad, a place that they could have in LA, but most importantly, they buy these properties as a store of wealth. They realize that this property would be like a Mona Lisa, a collectible. You can't reproduce properties like this ever again, especially in these prime communities. So people will buy them, they'll use leverage on their investment. They usually won't pay all cash. They'll put 20, 30, 40% down on these properties. They'll finance the remainder from their bank at a very low interest rate, and it's usually a really good investment long term. So this is why they initially buy them, but this works out so well for the city because I believe the city is the big winner here, not the investor. Now, here's why I love properties of this size for the city. First, a house like this probably employed 1,000 people, which is great for the city, laborers mainly, people that help build this property. Second, the tax revenue. If this property sold for, say, $350 million, the tax revenue alone would be over $4.3 million every single year, compared to the typical house of $500,000 brings in $6,250 for the city. So the difference is roughly 700 times the median price of $500,000. Now also, tax revenue goes towards funding of schools, street repair, and more. The average child costs the city about $10,600 per year to give them a public school education. So this one property pays for 425 people to go to school every single year. So much value add, not to mention that just the upkeep would probably provide another 80 or 100 jobs per year of consistent tax revenue for the city, with just property managers, security, landscapers, pool guys, all the tradesmen that are still gonna have to stay on site for this property. Then you also look at all the future investment that could come through the hands of the investor that bought this property. They'll likely want to set up an LA location if they're already not here, or buy future properties, all of which is going to drive more money to the city. So without these big time investors, it's going to be really hard to fund some of these programs that LA and California really want to push. As of right now, California is number 2 for the highest taxes. California is currently the state with the highest income tax in the nation at 13.3% for individuals earning more than 1 million. Hawaii's 16% rate would apply to those earning more than 200,000. So number 2, but California's legislators propose a 0.04% wealth tax, as well as increasing income taxes to 16.8% on the wealthy. So a 0.4% wealth tax, if you're worth $1 billion, is $400,000 per year for 10 years. So a $4 million tax. Those who spend more than 60 days in a single year in California will be subject to a wealth tax. So if you are coming to California to bring in business and you want to bring other employees, other executives from around the world to Los Angeles, to a new location where you'd hope to expand, well, now you have to worry about all of the tax implications with bringing your business to Los Angeles. Not to mention the fact that this is probably the worst time to own the most expensive home in America, especially with that home being 10 or 15 minutes away from a lot of people that are in financial distress, that are now seeing things like eat the rich and blaming the rich and blaming the wealthy for the world's problem. Nowadays, in this economic environment that we're in, smart investors are no longer just saying, hey, I'm gonna invest here, I'm gonna invest there. They're looking at the changes, the economic changes, the political changes happening inside of different markets. Like LA and New York, they pose a certain level of risk that is unnecessary to assume when there's other options. If you're sitting on $350 million, or say $150 million, and you want to go put it into a great asset, there's so many good options. You can go to South Florida, go to Indian Creek, get a place right next to Tom Brady. There's 85, 86 people inside this community. Get a beautiful place for 30 or 40 million bucks. Then you can go to the Bahamas. You can get a great tax shelter, a private island there for 25, 30 million bucks, and a good getaway. In the event the world gets really crazy, you have a good spot out in the Bahamas. You get a plane, get a yacht, and you'll still have money left over. So there's a variety of really good options out there. But investing in California, especially a large sum of money like that, doesn't seem practical in this ever-changing world. So I would really bet that this $350 million price tag doesn't happen, not anywhere near this level. Maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, it could have fetched a huge ticket. But right now, a lot of smart money is on the sidelines. You know, $300 billion is sitting on the sidelines right now for distressed real estate, waiting for undervalued opportunities. And as we step into this technocratic world, we're going to see a lot of big money vanish. So a lot of these big mega mansions that were held in family trust likely hit the market because they're losing out big time. The old way of doing business changed, and with that comes financial troubles for them. So there's going to be a lot of big opportunity to make a lot of money in real estate. I think a lot of smart money is sitting there waiting for that. Not just private equity firms, but a variety of institutional investors and people with money. So I wouldn't see $350 million happening. I would be surprised if it came anywhere near that. You know, $150 million was the overall sales price of the Beverly Hillbillies mansion in Bel Air just about a year ago. And that house is much more classic, beautiful, and my cup of tea. So we'll see what happens. Which house would you prefer? Would you prefer the Beverly Hillbillies house, this house here for $350 million, or would you take your money and spread it out? Get the island, get the house in South Florida, get a plane, get a yacht, and maybe invest the rest. Really curious as to your thoughts. Please smash this like button. If you want to learn about cash flowing multifamily real estate and you want your first deal to be a life-changing deal, then join my weekly calls. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we hop on a Zoom call, and it's in a group setting. Everyone's presenting their deals. We're looking at a wide array of different deals across the country, and it's a really good place really for networking, but ultimately to see what you should be looking for and what you should be avoiding with real estate. We're going to see a lot of really big winners and a lot of really big losers in this upcoming real estate crash. So make sure what you do is going to really position you for the win. So take a look at this. It's the top link below and see if it's a fit for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please smash that like button, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.